Hello everyone and welcome to a new video. As you can see, this is going to be another video where I talk about a topic and share what little wisdom I have on it. Today we're going to talk about failure, as it is a big part of our lives and honestly the best teacher you'll ever have. But only if you allow it to be. To some people, failure is the end of the world, but I want to convince you it's a positive thing that you should welcome with open arms. I want to begin by talking about the fear of failure, as I think it's a good place to start. Not everyone is the same, of course, but sometimes when you fear failure and or rejection, it can paralyze you into doing nothing. You stop trying because that way you won't ever fail and you can stay in your comfort zone. Unfortunately, you do not grow or improve this way, which often leads people to stagnate, never changing. It's depressing to just think about actually, but it's true. If you have a fear of failure, I recommend that you do a deep dive into yourself and try to find a reason why that is. It's important to understand your feelings and why you feel the way that you do. And the only way to do that is to reflect and think about the way you feel and react to things. If you have a friend or a family member you can talk to about such things, please go for it. Getting a different perspective on it or just plain talking out loud about it definitely helps. And the reason why I wanted to talk about failure as a topic right after confidence is because I feel they are linked. Last video I talked about how people worry about how other people see and think of them, yes? I think part of fearing failure is fearing that other people might change their opinion of you were you to fail. That other people will change their view of you for the worse, that they might dislike you or hate you or make fun of you, etc. As previously mentioned, what other people think of you isn't your problem, so please put those thoughts aside and try again until you get it right. Friendly reminder that nobody but the most toxic will actually dunk on you if you fail. As I said in the intro, failing is probably the best teacher you'll ever have in life. Assuming you have the ability to be self-aware, most of the time failing will tell you exactly what you did wrong and what not to do next time. This applies to real life in video games, except in video games the consequences aren't as bad, so it's easier to keep going. That being said, sometimes it can require a lot of thinking and analyzing to get to the bottom of things. If you're struggling to see what's wrong, there's no shame in asking for help to get a different perspective. Essentially, I want you to understand that the failing isn't inherently a negative thing. Learning from it can make you into a better person, yet there's a lot of people out there who associate losing with negativity. I've been fairly non-specific so far in this video, but I'm sure you can connect this to fighting games too. If you lose, try thinking about what went wrong instead of blaming lag, your opponent, your character, whatever. If you need to vent emotionally when you lose, by all means do that. Also, I know this sounds crazy, but sometimes it's actually your fault if you lose. Throw away your pride, record yourself playing, be it replays or live, look back on the matches, take notes, and learn. Bring a friend too if you like, as they're likely to spot mistakes and details you missed. With enough practice, you'll be able to spot mistakes quickly without even the need to analyze matches. Eventually, you might be able to make changes to your playstyle after one match or even mid-match. I want to go more in-depth about this in a future video though. As for other musings I have on the topic, I want you to lower your expectations. If you go into something expecting to succeed, and then don't, of course you'll be disappointed. I'm not saying you should expect the worst, but I want you to have an open mind where failing is a possibility and an option. It's important to not rule out failure as an outcome. When people tunnel vision on success and nothing else, that's when failure hits the hardest. But then again, failure isn't such a bad thing now, is it? I suppose this falls under the same umbrella, but your standards can also probably benefit from being lowered a bit. If you didn't meet a goal, a deadline, or someone's expectations, your own included, that's completely fine. You did your best and that's the only thing you need to do. Your best is more than enough, and if your best wasn't enough for someone else, then it's their problem. It's the other person having unreasonably high expectations, which is dumb, but such is life. And the last thing I want to share is, be kind to yourself. I know it's difficult, but if you mess something up, please do not beat yourself up over it. You did your best, you did what you could given the circumstances. Dwelling on the situation over and over in your head, thinking about what you could have done differently, will only keep you up at night. It might feel very awful in the moment, but if you could treat yourself to something to feel better after messing up, that would be nice. It can be anything. It doesn't have to be food, drinks, or snacks. Just something that gives you joy. Something that makes you happy, makes you feel at peace, or something that makes you calm down. That being said, people cope in different ways, so it's up to you to find out what works for you. And that's the video. I hope it was of some help to someone out there. Failing is okay and should be used as an opportunity for learning. You have nothing to fear after all. What's the worst thing that could happen? Your ego taking a hit?